We have some Mac and tech accessories you may have never heard about before. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. So here we go again on my series of kind of Mac and tech accessories you've may never heard about. I think this is like volume 3, or I think volume 3. Long story short, I'm going to showcase to you about 5 or 6 different technical products today that can basically, I call them tech and Mac because they're all Mac, kind of Mac related products. Some of them are a little bit of a stretch, but we're all having some fun here, and I'm going to tell you why they're kind of Mac related, at least to me. So sit back and relax, and we're going to go through all of these different products right here, and I'm going to show you why I love these products with these kind of product showcases. I'm going to have links in the description to all of them, so let's get into it. Alrighty, so for the very first product, I have a product here that's on sale, super sale right now, and it's sitting down here. And you're going to see some close-ups as I'm talking about this. It's too hard to light up right now, but I'm going to show you close-ups as I'm talking. So what do I have? I have the KYY, it's sitting right here, the KYY X90A, and you can see the model number right there. I'm going to put this box down here so I can come back up and talk about it. All right, so obviously this is a triple monitor. So you put your computer, your laptop in the middle, and I'll show you a close-up of how you do that. You can see it there. And then you go ahead and you have 2 screens on either side of your laptop. Now, a couple things right off the bat. This is on sale right now, and you can see it over here. It's called the KYY Laptop Screen Extender, 14-inch, 1080p, 229 bucks. It's 43% off on Amazon right now. 229 bucks only, usually $400. There's also a coupon to apply another $20 there. Really, really cool. Now, right off the bat, you may have seen these before, or you may have seen them on other channels. The reason I love this one so much is for a couple of reasons. The cost is number one, obviously that's obvious. But number 2 is the quality, but we'll get into that in a second. It's really the fact that you can see it. The reason I left it like this is you put your laptop in front of this, and this thing will actually just curve around it. There's no magnets or sticky stuff. All the other ones had like these weird magnets you had to attach to your laptop or your MacBook. You had to go, all these weird things to, make sure it was connected. And then it would, I didn't know what the magnets were going to do to my CPU or my RAM. It also scratched it when you put them on. This one doesn't do any of that. You just basically simply put your MacBook in front of it and it curls around it and it works perfectly. You don't have any connection. This thing can fold up and you can travel with it. I mean, it's got some weight to it because of the build quality. It's all like aluminum construction, which is really cool and really, really good construction for 229 bucks. I mean, 2 screens, let's be honest here, 2 1080p. On the back of it, it's got like a little flip-out stand, so you can tilt it to any angle you want and then move your MacBook screen back to any angle you want as well. But overall, it's just a phenomenal device. Now, beyond that, it's got a whole bunch of other cool features, but let's just talk about some of the other things. So what is it? So it's a 14-inch 1080p. It's a USB-C monitor, so it plugs directly into your MacBook. And I'll get into what you have to do, though. It's IPS computer display, so IPS, dual monitor. Now, it takes screens, it says, let me see, a monitor for 12 to 16-inch laptops can fit in here. And you want to go to their website because their website has a couple different things. It shows the different models that'll fit in here. It also shows directions on getting some of the software set up, which you'll need. Now, I have a MacBook Air M2. Obviously, I can only do 1 screen, but with their software, take a look. And I'll show you a close-up of that, but I got 2 or 3 different screens. I got my middle screen, my right screen, my left screen, and they're all different screens you can see on that. So with their software, you basically load that. It takes maybe 3 minutes to do it. They have a video on Amazon. So go to Amazon, check out where all the images are, click on it. It'll give you step-by-step instructions on how to do that. This thing actually even comes with a USB dongle with the actual software on it, or I just downloaded it. It gives you a download option as well. You install it, and it takes about 3 minutes, and then all of a sudden you have 3 different screens in front of you. So that's a crazy thing. The USB-C connection's awesome as well. It only takes 1 cable to power both of these as well. And the beauty of it is, while it comes with the power cable for the monitor, you don't even have to use that. I don't even use the power cable, and my MacBook can actually power both of these monitors with no external cable going into power. Pretty crazy. I don't know how it does it, but it does it. Obviously, it's going to probably use or drain battery quicker, but you get the idea that you don't need to bring that power connector with you. Now, I don't know if your laptop's going to be different, but I have the M2 MacBook Air, and it didn't do that. All right, really quickly, I'm just going to go ahead and you can kind of pause this if you want, but here's a lot of the statistics here. 300 nits of brightness. It seems pretty bright. It is 60 hertz, but what do you expect for the cost? I mean, obviously, low blue light mode it has on it, 920 by 1080. Now, the screens themselves are very, very sharp. They may not come across in my filming, but I was actually crispness of the crispness of the text, and also the colors. Now, for what they are, for the cost and for 1080p, it's just because maybe the screen size and stuff, everything looked really ultra sharp and I had no complaints on it. So I give it, if I really had to rate this on the quality of the screens, I mean, for the price and everything, it's at least 8 to 9 out of 10, if not even higher for the cost. I mean, let's just be honest. It works really good there. It does have some basic controls on it. I'll show you some pictures of what they are. Obviously, the basics you have with, screen brightness, and it's really easy to navigate through all the different screens there. Pretty cool. And on both sides over here, there's buttons on both sides of the screen, so you can individually amp up, if you want more brightness on one versus the other, or you can change settings for one for gaming, one for not. They're individually set, so you don't just set them for both of them, which is another cool feature. And, they just seem like they thought of everything on this monitor, which is really good. And then finally, if you look over here, they got a couple other things you can do. So you can actually prop it up. So if you just want one in portrait mode, it folds up into this kind of configuration for coding. And the other monitor kind of folds behind it. And let's keep going. You can have the 3 like I'm showing you here. So it's triple foldable. That's another one. They're just showing some examples here, obviously. But then you can go ahead. There's a triangle view, and I'll show you some close-ups of that as well. But let's say you're doing a meeting and you want all the monitors all around you. You can do that so everybody at the table that you're watching can all see the monitor from all different angles, and then you can just mirror it across all of those. So obviously, I showed you how with that software you can get individual screens with all different content. But if you just want to mirror it, because an example, you want to do like a product showcase to some clients or something, you can set it up in this triangle mode, and it works perfectly there as well. I thought that was really cool. But it does have the coding mode as well. It does come with the USB-C to USB-C cable with the little USB-A dongle on it. Comes, let me just see here. What else does it come with? It comes with the power adapter, like I told you, the USB stick with kind of the software built into it. It comes with all these different things you can see here. So you can pause that and take a look at the packaging list. But I just wanted to kind of introduce this product because it's one of the better products out there for the cost. You're getting basically 2 monitors, plus you can use your Mac monitor with that software, and everything works great. So tell me what you guys think about this thing. I think for the cost, you can't go wrong. Give it a shot. If it doesn't work out for you, definitely check though the size to make sure your laptop's going to fit. All that information's on the Amazon page, including how to install the software. So the first product's done, and I love this thing, and we'll talk about the next one. Let's get going. Okay, so if you've watched my channel before, you know I do a ton of different hard drive reviews and SSD enclosure reviews, and we have another one here. And this one's actually going to be something that's a little bit special, I think. This is by Zike, Z-I-K-E. You can see it right here. I'll show you close-ups as I'm talking about this. What this is it's a 40 gigabit per second enclosure for SSDs, and you're going to get some incredible speeds here. I'm just going to tell you why this one's a little bit different, and then we're going to do a quick speed test at the end. Here's their website over here. It's called the Zike Drive USB 4 40 gigabit per second NVMe M.2 SSD enclosure. They call it the Z666. 83 reviews. Look, it looks like it's obviously doing really well there in the reviews. Now, you can only buy this through their website. This is not going to be a link to Amazon, only to their website. I'm also going to, they have a 20% discount code right now. So check the description of my video. You're going to get 20% off this $119 cost, all the way down even further from this. So it's actually on sale right now. Now, the reason I just wanted to do a review of this one is I'm going to show you some close-ups of it, but I think this is one of the best developed, one of the best constructed enclosures that are out there as far as quality. First of all, it's full aluminum. It has kind of a plastic sleeve that goes over it to protect from heat when you're holding it. I have not found that it gets that hot at all. That's really good. Comes with basically 2 USB 4 cables, I guess you call them. One is actually slides out from right here. You can see it right here, so I'm going to show you some close-ups of that, but it slides out, so it's always with you in this enclosure. I love that kind of construction of this, so you don't forget your cable. It also comes with another one sitting right here at my desk, and I'll show you that one. This one's a little bit longer, so if you want a longer cable, you can just use that, or have that hooked up to your computer coming out the back of like an iMac. But if you want to just travel with it, you can use this short cable, and you're going to get really good speeds. What I did in the test, now this is toolless, so you basically can flip open the top of this. It just flips right open, and you can insert your SSD in here. Now, again, no tools needed. That's another huge plus here in full aluminum construction. So what I use is my SN770. That's my trusted SSD. Now, let me just be full disclosure here. This thing they're saying can go up to 3,800 megabytes per second, and I don't doubt it. I'm not going to get that exact speed because I'm using a little bit slower drive, but I test all my stuff so far in the SN770s, so I'm going to do a test on this one with that drive as well, just to compare them to all my other videos I've done things on this with. But this Zike drive is actually just the build quality, like I said. It's got some of the added features on it. It's got, obviously the plugs where you can plug it in. I just like it overall, and it's worked really well. So let's just go ahead and do a quick, kind of a speed test here, and then we're going to wrap this section up. All right, so here we go. I actually have a Blackmagic test right now. Let's go ahead and test this out. Over 3,100 on the writes. Look at this. And just about 2941 on the reads. We're going to do it one more time here. 31,118, and then 2959 this time on the reads. So obviously that's a really fast drive with Blackmagic, but sometimes Blackmagic doesn't tell the whole tale. Sometimes, that's just kind of a estimate based on what you're doing. So I'm going to move 100 gigabytes of data right now, and we're going to see how well this does. So let's go back to the screen. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do the test right now. I have 100 gigs of files right here. I'm going to drag it into the drive, and we're going to click this timer here. You can go ahead and see this. Now look how fast this is. It's already up to like 15, 17, 19, 20 gigabytes it's copied. Take a look at that. It's just moving so fast. We're not even in 10 seconds yet. It's up to 35, 36, 38. It's just flying. 38, 40, 50 gigabytes per. This is moving so much data so quickly. Let's just keep going here. We're going to see how fast it takes to do the 100 gigs right here. Now most drives would just struggle with this. This thing is just plowing through it. You can see it's not slowing down either at the tail end of this, which is really cool. So what are we going to get here? It looks like it's going to be very similar to some of the other ones, around 30 seconds. 30 seconds and 0.6, although I started, who knows, it's right around 30 seconds. But that actually comes out to about 3,330 or something megabytes per second, if you can believe that. Think about that for a second. So it's actually faster than what we got in Blackmagic. Now I'm using an SN770, which is actually pretty crazy, right? So, I mean, overall, let me actually go back into the website down here. I was noticing, down here, when people were using other devices, I mean, let me just see if I can see the notes. People were using other devices. They were getting up to 3910, 3831, 3811, 3199. These are in Windows systems, but still, it looks like people were using the SN850X, which is a little bit faster than the SN770, so that could be an option there. And then this person over here was using the, what is this, UM790 Pro. It's a Lexar drive, yeah, actually 4 terabytes. So you can see the speeds that they're getting there. So this is a phenomenally fast drive, and I just wanted to showcase it because, like I said, I get a ton of these. And I just feel like this is one of the better developed as far as the construction of it. And you can see by the speeds, it's very, very quick as well. So I can't complain with it. And we're going to wrap this segment up. Definitely check it out. I'll have a link in the description. This next product is a product sitting right over here, and it's a product that I never thought I'd use or want until I actually got one, and I love the thing. Trust me, I use it almost every day. Sitting right here, and you're going to say to yourself, well, how is this Mac or tech Mac related with a Mac kind of spin on it? Stay tuned for that as well, because I'm going to show you what I do with this thing. I charge almost all my devices on this, and let me just tell you right now, it's great for charging devices if you're obviously on the go or if you're somewhere like in a car or something. But really in my house, I move like all around the different house, and I do filming, and I do use my Macs in different places. If there's no outlets around and I need a charge, I just bring this with me, and I love the thing. It works perfect. So what do I actually have? This is the Egretech Sonic 1200 watt portable power station. You can see it right here on Amazon. It's $469. So it's a generator, basically a power generator, 1200 watts, 999 watt hour backup lithium battery, right? So a couple things here. You're going to say $469. That's still a really good price, but it's actually a lot cheaper than this. Take a look. It's got a $70 coupon right now on Amazon. You can get that. So it's going to be $399. If you go to their actual main website as well, let me just see if I can get to that over here. Where is it? Right here. So here it is. They have it actually for $399 as well on their website. So you can see you can get it straight from their website for $399, or you can use that coupon on Amazon over here. So what's the thing? Why is this thing so great? Well, just hold on for a second. First of all, I'll just kind of go through the ports here. On the side over here, and I'll show you some stuff. You can go ahead, and this is where you charge it. So they give you a power plug. You plug it into your wall. It takes about an hour to get 80% charged, and then it takes only about another 30 or 40 minutes to get to the 100%. It slow charges it, not to ban it, not to damage the actual internals. Then down here, it's got like a heat grade as well. So this panel flips up, and that's where you actually plug in to actually charge the unit. On the front of it, it's got a power button here, and then over here, it's got a light where it's got a couple different settings on it where it blinks and stuff, but it can be standard light as well. That's great in a power outage. If if the lights go out or if the power outage goes out, you can use this as a light if you want to. Just an added bonus. On the top of it, it's got basically wireless charging, which works phenomenally. I put my phones up here. They charge very quickly, and so that works really good. It's got a flip-up handle on the top right here, so you can carry this thing around wherever you want to carry it. It is, like I said, it looks bigger here than it actually is because of the camera. It's not terribly big, but it's, it's obviously a huge battery, so it's pretty heavy. All right. So again, on the front of it, I'm just going to show you some stuff over here now. In the very middle, there's a dial here, and I'll show you some close-ups. But what it does is it tells you basically the percentage that it's charged, and you'll see it on there, the big number. And then it also tells you basically how many watts you're actually pulling on the devices that you have plugged in, and then also it tells you how many hours left before it kind of gets empty. So it's got all the basic stats on there, and on the bottom of that, it just shows you all the plugs that are being plugged into as well. So it gives you a lot of different data there. Now over here, you can obviously see this is a cigarette lighter, and you can open this up and you can plug in a device that would be powered by a cigarette lighter into this thing, and that'll power that device as well. But over here, this side over here is where all the magic happens. So let's take a look over here. So you got basically two USB-A, and they're up to 24 watts. You got two USB-Cs, and they're up to 100 watts each, and you can do 100 watts on both of those at the same time. It doesn't split them to 50 watts. It's 100 watts and 100 watts. Or you can plug into all of these at the same time, all of these devices, which is really cool. It's got an on and off button at the bottom down there. You can see it, so you just want to turn that on and off, and it kind of turns this zone on and off. But then even beyond that, on this other side over here, it's got two basically power plugs over here where you can plug in any device that you normally plug into the wall. And this thing's crazy. So it's up to 1200 watts. It's, I mean, with all the statistics here, it gives you a whole bunch of things you can do with this, but you can plug in major stuff. Like I did a hairdryer on here, and it works. Now, what happens is it's got this kind of overload protection. So like my hairdryer went up to like 16 or 1700 watts, but then it works its way back down. I did low power and high power, but when you're actually doing it, if it goes above the 1200 watts, it'll actually slowly work its way back down and keep working. It won't shut off, but it'll keep working around 1200 watts, which is really cool. And I've never seen that. A lot of these devices shut off on you if you put in something too much. This one doesn't. This one, they say you can put in like a refrigerator you can plug into this on the sides over here. It's got just a ton of power on it. In fact, now, the claim to fame for me is why do I love this thing so much? Because, like I said, I use this all around my house when I'm filming, for my lights, for my, I have a whole bunch of devices. I don't want to bring, 16 different cords going into the walls everywhere. I just bring this with me and I plug directly into this. I mean, it says I can do a mobile phone. Your mobile phone's 75 times charged on this. Think about that, 75 times. MacBooks, 15 or 16 times you can recharge them on this thing. Let's say you're out somewhere camping or something, 16 times on this thing. What else does it say? iPads, 30 or 35 times. You can do all that stuff. But then you can do stuff like refrigerators. It says up to 7.5 hours. You can do electric rice cookers. I mean, you can do very high wattage stuff. You can, cameras and stuff like that obviously are easy. Let me just see in here, drones, it says like 23 times basically you can recharge your drone on this. So it's got a ton of power. You can plug in lights and everything. So the beauty of this thing, like I said, is just what it comes down to is the simplicity of what it is. It's super easy to use. You turn the power on, you plug into these devices. You can have all of them filled up at once, and it's going to be pulling power out. It tells you exactly what you're using, exactly how long it's going to be using it for, and when you need to recharge it. And if you're not really that technical, this is the perfect thing. And it's great to have in a catastrophe in the house when the power goes out. You could even, like I said, plug a refrigerator into here or something to keep stuff cool while it's getting too hot in your fridge or something. Save all your food, or you could use it for lights. Plug in lights and stuff because it's got normal plugs. Whatever you need to do, this thing is great. So I totally recommend this product. And again, I guess I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's Egretech, I guess is the way you say it, portable power station. And check it out. I'll have links in here to both their website and beyond. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention too is on the side over here, I didn't buy this, but if you look on Amazon right here, this is a really good deal here. So here's the generator, obviously, but over here they sell for $519. It's not even that much more. Plus you can get that coupon off. It's the Sonic 1200 watt, the same thing, plus a 100 watt solar panel. So you can actually plug in solar. There's a connection again over here. You can plug in the solar on this side and up to a 100 watt solar panel. I believe they have a bigger one too, but it's not on this website. But anyways, that's not even that much more money. You can take a look there. So if you want to be, out, off grid and stuff, this thing will work perfect for that as well. And obviously it's going to charge a lot slower with that, but still a really cool feature. Okay, so for this next product, we actually have a soundbar sitting right here. And before you say anything, you're going to say, I know people are going to say, well, how is that Mac or tech related? It's tech related, but how is that Mac related? Hold on, I'm going to tell you in a second why I love this thing. Now, I get sent a whole bunch of different products, and I only put products in these videos that I actually like. Now, I'm not doing reviews of them because I don't have them long enough. I'm doing product showcases, but I only put the ones I like, and I really like this, and I'm going to tell you why I use it for a Mac in a second. So overall, you can see the color of it. It's really just begin with, it's a TV soundbar, right? It's full, sleek, and black. I'll show you some close-ups of it. And if you look at it next to my TV over there, you can barely see it. It blends right in. It doesn't take away from the aesthetics of the TV or the setup. It's jet black. I love that, right? That's number one. Number two is, obviously a lot of the features built into it. So before I get into those, though, let's just talk about what this even is. This is actually called the Geoyeao. Geoyeao. I think that's how you say that. You can see you guys can make your own determination right there, right? I think that's how you say it. If I go down to the bottom down here, it's going to be the HD-019 SAT T2-P. And there's, obviously the number. You can go ahead and pause it if you want it. You can find this on Amazon right now. It's $149. You can see it right here. It's got a rating of 4.8 out of 5. So really, really cool rating there. Really good rating, actually. And it's $149. So why would you pick something like this up? Well, before I get into that, let me just give you some more of the features here. So first of all, it comes with the remote, and I'll show you that remote up close. And now one of the cool features is obviously it's got full Bluetooth built into this, so you can use Bluetooth on this, and it works perfectly. There's not really any lag whatsoever. Now the other things, let me just scroll down to the bottom here. Some of the things that they talk about is it's full Dolby Atmos 3D sound. So there's a 3D sound button in here for Dolby Atmos. It works phenomenal. It sounds like the room's filled. Really cool there as well. Now, on the remote, too, it's got adjustable treble and bass. You can go ahead and adjust that. It's also got, let me see here, it's got the Bluetooth mode. It's got an equalizer mode where you can switch between different modes, like there's a movie mode and a music mode and things like that. You can see them there, so you can do that. But it keeps it pretty simple. It's obviously got different modes and stuff. It's got a mute button. You get the idea with the controller. Beyond that, though, it does have some buttons on the top, too, power, plus and minus for the actual sound, and then it's got kind of a play and pause button up here as well on top of it if you want to, so you don't always have to rely on the controller. All right, let's keep going here. So this is saying it's a 240 watt powerful speaker. Imagine that, 240 watts on this thing. So this is my proposal to you, and then we'll kind of get into some more of the features. I propose that you put this in the back of your desk, all right? Right back there. And you put this, instead of, how people always want to buy computer speakers, you go to the store, you find a couple speakers for $100, and they have wires going everywhere, and they don't look that good. They look really cheap. You throw this behind your computer, behind your iMac on your desk. It fits the desk perfectly. It's a very low profile. And you have some of the best sound ever for a computer setup. I mean, telling you, this is great. This is meant for a TV, but I use it for my computer in a lot of cases, and it just sounds phenomenal. It's got really good sound, really crisp voice, and it's got fairly good bass, too. There's obviously a bass. You can move the bass up or down with the controller if you want to. So overall, I think that's great with 240 watts. You're not going to get too many desktop speakers like that, trust me. All right, so that's that. Now, let me just go through a couple other things here. I'm going to show you kind of a picture here. So I'll show you some pictures. You can't really see through the grating. The front has a kind of a grate on it. And on both sides, take a look at this over here. It's got basically 1, 2, 3 speakers plus this kind of port here for bass. And on both sides, it's got these. So it's got really 6 different built-in speakers with these 2 bass ports. So it's got a ton of different technology built into this that makes it sound so good. And the right and the left channel are very distinct, even when I'm sitting close near my computer. That's really cool. Now, it also, on the back of it, let me just get to the back of it over here. If I can find the different cables here. Here we go. It's got a, back here, it's got an HDMI. Basically, you can connect to your TV that way. USB. It's got an aux. Basically you can get aux out, optical cable, coaxial cable, and then it's got a DC, power cable over here, which you can actually have to plug it in, obviously. So you get all those different ports. But I mean, it's got Bluetooth built in as well, which I'm using with all my computers. So you can connect your phone to this, your TV, your computer, especially if it's behind your computer. You can just use Bluetooth, and there's no cables whatsoever except for the power cable. So really, really phenomenal there as well. Okay, so it does actually come with a whole bunch of cables as well, which is really nice. Comes with an HDMI cable right here. Comes with an optical cable, which is, $20 by itself. It comes with the aux cable over here. And then it comes with some mounting brackets and some screws over here. And these things actually can go to the wall. I'll show you kind of a picture, and you can mount it up and down there. So really cool there. On the front of it, it does have, a little readout as well, where you can go ahead and see various things. I kind of showed you that earlier, but basically you can go ahead and see, it just shows up when it needs to. It's not really annoying or anything like that, but it's on the very front of the device. Overall, like I said, really good sound, and I'm going to show you a sample right now. The sample is not going to be great just because it's going through another speaker, so you're not going to hear it like it really sounds, so it's kind of a useless way to show people. I always tell people that with speakers, but for all it's worth, let's put it in right here. All right, so what do you think? Pretty good, right? Again, it doesn't come through as it's correct there, but anyways, here we go. So it's 50, you can see some of the stats here, 50 hertz to 20 kilohertz response frequency, all this stuff. And then you can go ahead and pause this if you want, basically, to see all these different settings and stuff down here. Obviously, I'm not someone that's totally into like this kind of statistics, so it doesn't really mean a lot to me, but to you it might, so you can definitely pause it if you want to. Do I recommend it? Definitely for my initial use, but again, this is a product showcase because I don't use these long enough. I just get these products in, but I am using this one behind my speakers over here. I moved it over here, and I love it because it fills the room. It's one of the better speakers for computer speakers you can get, and that's one of the use cases I recommend it for. So if you're thinking about either a TV soundbar, which works perfectly, or a computer one, thinking outside the box, this could be it. Okay, so being a Mac channel, people always ask me about keyboards. They say, well, the keyboard that comes on the the iMac and stuff down here, it's just too flat for me. There's not a lot of give on it. So what keyboard do you recommend? Well, here's one that I recommend. It's sitting right here on my desk, and I'll show you close-ups as I'm talking about this. I kind of recorded it. This is actually the Satechi SM1 75% mechanical keyboard. It's full LED backlit. It's got an aluminum frame on it. And like I said, the claim to fame here is, let me just see if I can hold this up here. It's a mechanical keyboard. Listen to this. So basically, you're going to get that kind of key press that you really like. It gives you a really good feeling when you're typing on this. The keys sit up higher. I'm going to show you that. I'll show you some pictures close, where it's close to the thinner keyboard over here. So it sits up much higher for your typing in your hand if you like that. It's also got, I believe, flip out feet in the bottom if you want to make it, stand up a little bit higher as well. So overall, though, I think they make a larger version of this as well, but if you like kind of the form factor of these small kind of keyboards, but you just don't like how thin they are, there's not a lot of travel on them, definitely try out the mechanical keyboard. It's just phenomenal to type on. You get that response. Let me just kind of go down here and see if there's anything else it kind of says here. Full backlit. It's got 14 backlight designs, although I never use them. I just use white and keep it at white. You can connect up to 4 different devices with it as well. Tactile switches, rechargeable battery, so it's fully rechargeable, full Bluetooth as well, so you don't need to have any cables running through it. It does have a cable right here, so you can charge it or plug it in when you need to, but overall, the battery lasts basically a few months. It's just basically like the Mac keyboards. They last almost forever. And very easy pairing. There's not much else to it. You can go ahead and I'm going to show you some of the key layouts and stuff just so you can get a good look at it and the colors. Now, this is the black version. It's actually darker in real life than it looks like on the website over here. It's a little bit darker. It also comes with the white version. Let me go ahead and click on that so you guys can see the white version right there. So that's actually kind of cool. If you want white or black, it's got some gray keys on it as well. Keys actually can flip off. I don't know if you can replace them. I haven't tried that, but it does say the keys do come off and stuff like that as well. So I just recommend it's a Satechi SM1 75% mechanical keyboard, and with the aluminum frame, it's propped up higher. If you like a little bit larger keys and a little bit better, a little bit more tactile response, this is the one for you. You cannot complain with this keyboard. It's worked phenomenally, just like it's almost made for the Mac, and it is. It's got all the Mac keys as well over here. So definitely think about this one. And I'll have a link in the description if you want to check it out. But look at all the statistics on it. People love it, and it's just a great keyboard overall. Okay, so for the last product, it's not my iPad over here, my 10 Gen, but if you do have a 10 Gen like this, or anything with the USB-C port on the bottom of it, the next product might be for you. So it's sitting right over here. Take a look at this. This is actually called the Minisopuru iPad docking station. And before I get into it, I just want to show you something real off the bat. The construction of this thing is phenomenal. It's full metal construction. Hinges are super strong on it. It's got all the soft spots where you'd scratch your device so it does not scratch anything. And it folds. It just has a ton of pressure to move it. So it's going to last you a really long time. Let's put it that way. Really good construction. Here it is on Amazon over here. It's $59.89 right now, 14% off. And they call it, again, foldable tablet stand, 4K HDMI, 100-watt power charging, USB 3 ports. So let's just get into what this is. So you basically put your iPad on top of this, obviously, as a stand. And I'll do that in a second. Overall, though, then you plug the port, plug the USB-C into your iPad, and it gives you a whole bunch of different ports over here. It gives you a USB-A on one side over here, 5 gigabit per second, and it's on one of the sides. But on the back of it, it gives you 2 SD card slots, obviously the main one and then the smaller one. It gives you USB 5 gigabit per second, USB-C, gives you HDMI, and like what it's saying here, 4K HDMI, I believe 4K 60, and then it actually has a PD charging up to 100 watts, so you can pass through charging to your iPad if you want to. And obviously this goes up like this, obviously, and let me just put my iPad on there. and then your iPad goes on just like this, and you guys can see it. I have it setting too low, but you can set this any way you want, and it's just got a lot of force to it, so you can draw on this. You can do anything that you want on there, and it's not going to really affect anything. So, I mean, some of these things are just when you hit them, they kind of fold down, and you can't really draw really easily on them or anything like that. This one's got a ton of force behind it, so it's perfect for drawing and just for holding the tablet any direction you want. You can also fold this up higher if you want. I'm not going to do it here because I'll screw my microphone up, but you get the idea. It folds in all different directions. So $59.89 is a really good cost for this, and it's compatible. Let me just show you a couple little pictures in here. Here's one picture here, foldable and flexible, 4K 60, faster 5 gigabit per second transfer. And I tested this with the card readers. Everything shows up directly on my iPad instantly. It works flawlessly. Here's a good shot of the ports in the back as well. So you get the idea. It is what it is, right? I always say that to people. If you want to connect keyboards, or if you want to do SD cards, or obviously if you want this thing to be onto your computer monitor, you can go ahead and use the HDMI, hook it right up to a monitor, then you have your iPad on there, use it as a computer. It does all of that for a very inexpensive cost. And I've used Minisopuru in the past, and they do make some really good products, so definitely check this out. I'll have a link to this as well, and I think it's a steal at $60. It's not just a stand, it comes with all those other features. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up. This was a long one. I apologize about that again, but I hope you guys like these where I just kind of showcase products. Again, I'm not doing full reviews of them because, again, I haven't had some of these long enough. I get sent so much stuff, and I have to go through all of it, and then I pick the ones that I like using. The ones that I don't never see the day of light. I don't show them. That's why I usually show positive stuff only. Maybe I'll get into the bad reviews eventually, but I'm just showing things that I think work really well for me. But I'm one person, right? I could get a good one, someone else could get a bad one. So I'm just showcasing them. Do your own research, and at the end of the day, you make the decision yourself. We'll talk to you in the next one. I make these every couple weeks, and I make a whole bunch of other videos. I do individual reviews, the Apple news on the weekends. We have some fun, all that kind of stuff. So subscribe if you can, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.